Hi, my name is No History Here Gaming, and I have been an average streamer on Twitch for almost 2 years now. During this time, I learned a lot about myself, and a lot about the emotional hurdles that comes with being an average streamer. Like, for so long. So that is the inspiration for this video. I want to share these experiences with you. So, here is what I learned from almost 2 years of being an average streamer. So before we begin, I just want to clear up a couple of things. Firstly is that this is not going to be a how to get 0 to 100 viewer video. Far more qualified streamers will be able to give you that kind of advice. No, what I want to talk about today is just the kind of mental hurdles that comes with being an average streamer. And the second thing I want to say is that I will be only going by my own personal experience and by those I have spoken to around me. So if anybody in the chat has any alternative or additional advice, or even if you've had a mental hurdle that you've had to undergo that I've not mentioned here, please mention it down in the comments. I would love to find out all about your journeys through being a Twitch streamer. So, without further ado, let's get back into the video. Number 1. Do not compare yourself to another streamer's viewer numbers. So this one's a hard one because I'm sure majority of streamers at one point will have gone onto a stream and thought, I wish I had their viewer numbers. And particularly for my first year of streaming, this super fucked me up. But one thing I try to remember is that Twitch can be a bit of a lottery sometimes, where streamers get that big lucky raid from a larger streamer, or have found a community that relates to them personally, whilst also being open and supportive. You might just not have had that lucky break yet, or found that community, but streaming is a marathon rather than a race. And as long as you keep running in it, and as long as you keep buying that ticket, you have a chance, whether it's weeks, months, or even years. You still have a chance. Number 2, be yourself. I'm sure a lot of people have also gone onto a stream and thought, if only I was more like them, or if only I had their personality, leading to some of these people starting to imitate those streamers very closely. And although it's totally fine to take inspiration from another streamer, and perhaps learn a few things like features that you could add to your stream, but remember never to fake a personality just because it works for somebody else. Because you begin to lose who you are, and I think that's a really big shame because everybody gets to miss out in this new diverse channel in the form of your personality. For example, personally I know a lot of streamers feel like they need to be super loud, and if that's who you are, then that's absolutely great. But no, if that's not who you are, then you don't have to be loud in order to be entertaining. For example, take one of my streamer friends, DeemerStreams.
Casually fisting buttholes.
An amazing Belgian plant dad who's an absolutely amazing streamer and somehow is able to keep his cool, whether he's playing Planet Zoo or something a little bit more actiony like Hollow Knight or Alien Isolation. What a lot of streamers make up on loudness, Deemer makes up on wittiness. And I think that's great. He doesn't resort to being something that is a traditional streamer. And lots of people love him for that he is being himself. 3. Don't put up with people who make you feel uncomfortable. Whether it's sexual harassment, being offensive, or even just somebody constantly bringing up conversations that you don't like talking about. Majority of streamers have experienced somebody who's been in their chat who's either made the streamer or their community uncomfortable. And it's a shame that some people put up with it because end of the day, this is your channel and in a way, this is your home. And you shouldn't have to feel uncomfortable in your own home. For example, I had 3 to 4 individuals in my Discord channel who began going into detail about torture. And I was really worried that if I banned them, I would look like an arsehole. But really, I'm sure I wasn't the only person feeling uncomfortable with it, and it made me realise that I didn't want to go into my own Discord, which really fucking sucked. I've made so many awesome friends, new and old, so to lose the one to even go on Discord took a toll on my mental health. So, more of this story is do not put up with people who make you feel uncomfortable. So, if somebody is making comments you don't like, you either can give them like a warning before banning, or just straight up banning. Because, end of the day, there are 140 million monthly active users on Twitch as of January 2022. And even though I know everyone's desperate for regulars and whatnot, but this is your channel and you deserve the kind of community that you want to have. 4. Declining viewers. Okay, so this one's a little bit longer than the last one, but regardless of what size you are, everybody experiences this at some point. And it's super easy to look at it as my content sucks and nobody wants to watch me. But remember that Twitch viewers fluctuate all the time, and it may just be that some of your viewers have had a schedule change at work, or have like a super important school assignment that they need to be doing, or something as simple as I've had a long day today and I just want to spend some time myself. So please don't look at declining viewership as a problem with your content and or you personally, because that simply isn't true. If you're still unable to disconnect the two like I did, then try and avoid even accidentally seeing your viewer numbers. For example, if you use your channel page to view chat, then scroll down because the red viewer number will fall off the page, but your chat will stay still. Also, on your creator dashboard, take off any stats that tell you about your viewer number. Believe me, it was super helpful to me because it meant that I slowly moved away from analysing my stream on viewer numbers. If you're still a little bit like me and you want to improve your streams and use viewer numbers to gauge it, then here's an alternative that seems to work with me. So after every stream, instead of looking at the viewer numbers, an external factor, I ask myself, did I have fun? Did I feel good? And if I wasn't tired, would I do another stream? This shows that I am looking after myself and paying attention to how I feel, because if I'm not having fun, then neither are my viewers. 5. Know your limit. One of the most important parts of streaming is looking after your own health. And one aspect of that is knowing your limits, whether it's how many times you stream a week, how long you stream for, and what times. Streaming can be both mentally and physically exhausting, which is why a lot of the time when streamers raid, they often need to get away from the computers for a little bit. So if that means that you have to experiment around with your times, then so be it. It might mean a temporary dip in viewers while people can adapt to the new times, but believe me, on the long run it's so important. For example, one of my streamer friends, WonderlandRogue,
okay, no, you're right, she's a fan!
who's very much a morning and afternoon person, moved our times to 2:30, as a lot of our fellow streamer friends streamed later on, and also to look after her own health. This has in fact boosted her channel because she is streaming when she feels most comfortable. So don't worry if your preferred time isn't when the top number of viewers are on, because Twitch is open 24 hours a day. So there's always going to be viewers on Twitch, and you just need to find what works best for you. 6. Burnout is real. Finally, everyone will get burnout in some form, whether it's like creative, emotionally, physically, or any of the above, or all of them, at some point of their streaming life. Like whether it's within like weeks of starting, months, or even like years. So don't ever feel like it's a reflection of like I'm not good enough, because it simply isn't. And like I've said, we've all been through it, and so have the big streamers. So it's why it's even more important that you take that time to just recharge, because everybody needs a break every so often, and streamers are no different. So if you ever find yourself bogged down and struggling, take a week, take 2 weeks, just to like focus on yourself. Your viewers will totally understand because they care about you. So these are the lessons that I learned from streaming, for nearly 2 years. I could go into more detail on every single one of these, but I wanted to keep the video relatively short as much as I could. But if you want to hear more on specific areas or anything else, please give me a shout in the comments. I would love to hear your stories, and as said before, if anybody's got any alternative advice or any additional, please feel free to post it down below. I would love to hear what you guys think. But before you head, I also want to mention I will be doing a 24-hour charity event on 9th of April 2022. Last year we raised money for Sam H, which is a mental health charity based in Scotland, but this year we will be raising money for Mind, which is an amazing mental health charity based down in England and Wales. For every £100 that we raise, we will add on an extra 30 minutes to the clock. So any donations, chatters or lurkers are super appreciated. The donation link will be on stream and also down in the description. Please, if you do donate any money, please make sure it's something that you can afford, because your mental health matters as well. Either way, I hope this helped anybody, and remember that you mattered yesterday, you matter today, and you matter tomorrow. Bye!